So, the last years, I've tried to visit some of my old friends from high school or my studies and stuff. And a lot of them, even though I was in their town or city and stuff, they pretended that they didn't have time, that they weren't available and stuff. Now, I think that I am scared still to let go of old friends and lovers and acquaintances and all of that. And I'm realizing that a lot of people, they don't care. Like they have a different, to them, if it's like from a long time ago, and it means that you are stuck, maybe even to them. It might even mean to them that you weren't able to evolve and that you have been stayed stuck at a certain point in time, and that you wanting to meet up with them again is just a sign of you not having grown. Okay, so I have to accept that. I flew to different countries, even. And some people, they wouldn't want to see my fucking face, okay? Now, that's not everyone, but that's a few people for sure, unfortunately. And that's just the way it is. I have to let that sink in. So, some people that you meet in the moment, you're having a blast in the moment, and you even promise to yourselves that this will kind of like last forever, and a couple of years later you come back, they don't want to meet you up. There's no way around it. You're alone at this time. So I have to deal with these emotions now of rejection and to enjoy my stay in Spain, because this is where I had some friends, I thought. But texting with them, it won't matter, because if you go to their city and they don't want to meet you up, then all the texting becomes meaningless. I've also been texting back and forth with, like, this was a bit more like romantic, if you want, like, or it was like a girl I hooked up with. Now, it wasn't really romantic, but still, like we had an affair and we texted back and forth. And when I finally was in her town again, okay, I wasn't there for a very long time. That we also have to keep in mind. So I have to work on myself, and some of these lessons that people, they move on, and moving on to them means not including you, like, in their, like, new life, so to speak. It means excluding people, maybe even from the past. Maybe they hold on onto old friendships from like years ago, like from, I mean, not years ago, but this would be the case with me. So, like schools from, I was about to say friends from school, maybe, not schools from friends, But yeah, I have to take care of myself first, and I will not always have a blast like 24/7. I will not be hyped 24/7. Sometimes I'm gonna hit kind of like emotional lows, and I have to know how to deal with them to let newer, better, like more happy emotions come back instead. And so, because this is what we want. So some people I have to face, because I went to a city now, right now. Is a birthday party that I got invited, and I booked the flight, the stay, everything, and I said, yeah, I'm coming. And then in the end, there wasn't any more like place for me, apparently, even though this is not possible, because the party has more 50 more or less 50 people, and it's just 2 weeks in advance. Like, there is no place anymore. Come on. I was invited 3 weeks in advance. I took a week to like prepare, to plan it, and now I arrived, and no one wants to see my fucking ass. So that's just the way it is. Old friends and even current friends, like some of this stuff is definitely not easy to deal with, and I just have to let it sink in. you know that's just a part of life, I guess. I hope that I'll be able to fully, like when I was in San Francisco the first time, and oh my god, like this peak experience, it was so beautiful. It was incredibly beautiful, and I wouldn't have thought that I could even be so fucking happy again, and there I was, so fucking happy again. So right now I'm in Valencia in Spain, and the Spanish people. Maybe it's also because I don't speak Spanish and shit. My favorite city is still San Francisco. All I wanna do is it sounds fucking stupid and like ungrateful because I'm in Spain right now, but I don't give a fuck. Like Europe is not a union. I've already addressed this in a previous video. These people, they don't get along. Okay, maybe you have some like French Spanish people, maybe you have some French German people, maybe you have some German Polish people, but in general these countries, they have their own identities, their own language, their own values, and sometimes they even don't get along. So in the United States, what I found until now, I haven't like really explored that much more, but I at some point, I in the bus in San Francisco, I met some dude from like Arizona, and he was doing a road trip, and he showed me some pictures, and he was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Germany," and like the other end of the world. And these people, these are my. I mean, it sounds stupid, but these English speaking people mostly I happen. It seems like that I click best with, because also but also German. Like I don't want to shit on like I don't want to shit on these other countries like Germany, France. You know what? Maybe I should come at peace. Maybe that's it. Peace. But I have to say that in the United States, like even though they are might be like, I guess, social and also like ethnical differences, and like people also might not always form a union. So I don't have to. I have to also to also appreciate, to be able. I wanna be able to appreciate what I would call sober reality. Sometimes you can get a little headache. Sometimes you can get a little rejection. Sometimes you can go to a place you don't get invited. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you thought, and sometimes things don't working out the way you thought might even be cool as hell. So the unknown can also be cool, like cool surprises and shit. But if things turn wrong, I also have to be emotionally prepared and strong enough. And so this is, I think, what I'm gonna be working on, so that I'm able to hold that constant, just like my brother's name is, I don't will not say his exact name, but there is constant in his name, and he has always been pretty like emotionally steady, and like pretty like just like happy, at least. Like now maybe he also, but the way I don't know, he just seems wise to me. He just seems emotionally wise. He's like 7.5 years younger than me, but he's pretty fucking smart, that kid, and he has always been. And without like being like making it like he's a super genius freak. He's just laid back, but he's fucking sharp. Maybe I should get inspired by this. And my best city are like, until now, I don't care what other people will say about this city, because of because for different reasons. I love San Francisco, okay? I want to go back to San Francisco. I will figure a way out to go back to San Francisco. I absolutely fucking love the vibe in that city. The people are just open, at least that's the vibes I got. And now I don't know how it is to live there, but I might even try to live there for some time. So, but Spain, like if you speak German, French, like maybe some Spanish people, they have some French notions, but obviously I want to try to speak in Spanish. But here I am in my fucking hotel room doing this video in English where I'm like, oh, these people I know in Valencia, they haven't opened my messages, my message request. Now they've opened it, but they have like pretty much like rejected me. They have told me, we don't want to see you, and so, doing a lot of stuff, like going to a lot of different places and stuff from the outside, like it's definitely you want like something that you think that you miss out on. But I can tell you that all this traveling, like when I say all this traveling, I haven't traveled like super, super duper crazy either. But still, I've tried to travel somewhat extensively to different countries that speak different languages and also try to get along with the people, talk with the people and stuff. And it also comes with kind of like sad truths that you have to let sink in. So that's also why some people, even if they have the money and they are able um, to travel, some they stay stuck in their like parents' basement forever, and they might even have well put enough parents to support them, and but if you don't make anything out of it, then it's also sad. So obviously you want to make something out of your life as so far as you want to experience, but it also comes with some dark shades, let's put it this way. So you have all the colors of the rainbow, but in the colors of the rainbow, I don't think they included dark and gray and these tones, now these colors. But there is a part of darkness, I guess, in light, in all light. And so the moment you have to painfully absorb that, then you have to also stay somewhat strong. You have to be somewhat resilient, even on a fucking holiday, because I have to say, the second time I went to San Francisco, so I was visiting the girl who was my girlfriend, but now she's my ex. But it just wasn't, because also I didn't stay for very long, and that was mostly it. Like a 2-3 day stay in San Francisco is obviously, if you come to Germany, it's very, very extremely short. It's almost like crazy. It's almost like, what the fuck are you doing, But this back and forth, at some point, like I thought it would have to like end in a way, and it did. And so maybe I'm gonna see this girl again in the future when I'm gonna be in San Francisco. I can still hit her up, I can still hit her up. Not on. I don't want to reveal too much, but yeah, it wasn't like a real. It was just like a girl I hooked up with, and I had a really good time with, and then we kept messaging back and forth. And then when I came back to her city in San Francisco, my stay was very short, and we were both. So that's what I wanted to say. My second time in San Francisco, emotionally, I wasn't really able to really hold myself up there, but I still was able to enjoy. I went to the North Beach Festival. I talked with a bunch of people. It was very fun. I met like Pat the Lawler. It's like a boxing champion in the middleweight class. Very, very nice guy. I met some people at a bar. Now I don't want to say the name or reveal too much, but yeah. So traveling a lot and experiencing and going to different places and getting out of your shell. There is a reason why some people, they don't feel like doing it, is because sometimes things might not turn out the way you want in a negative way. Now, sometimes things might turn out well in an unpredictably good, cool way, which it did for me in the past, because I was open enough to experience and to throw myself into the unknown. But as I say, maybe that like emotional not consistency, but being constant emotionally, it is a strength not to get too wrapped up into, like, when I hooked up with the girl I told you about in San Francisco. We kept messaging back and forth, imagining, like, fantasizing about cool scenarios and stuff like this. But at the end of the day, your resources are also limited, like time, money, also health. You have a certain amount of hours that you are able to stay awake and even be emotionally capable enough to even withstand. And so, you know what I mean. So you also need to take care of yourself. Okay. So have a good one. This video, yeah. So I think, like, to sum it up, it's about being emotionally strong enough to take the hits of the unknown. And so the gift, the reward of it will be fucking cool experiences, having a blast, having good memories, and being, like, in the moment and having the time of your life. This is the reward. But it comes at a cost of also having to painfully deal with some rejections, for example, or people that will, like, yeah, cancel on you, put you down. Yeah, it happens, you know. So I also hope to come back to San Francisco. I mean, I fucking love San Francisco, and even though I lost the contact, I mean, I had, like, this breakup with the girl, like I told you about. Like, I remember, like, at the exit or entrance, however you want to see it, of Chinatown, we, like, crossed Chinatown from North Beach, and she said, "Yeah, so that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess." But after I had said, "Yeah, so it's too bad that, like, we have to part now," and she hopped on her bus, and she went home, like, without me that evening. And but also she didn't make a very well kept impression. She was kind of messed up, and I was as well, for different reasons. Okay, but so I also know a bunch of other people in San Francisco that I could get in touch with, and they could hit up again, like, when I will be back in San Francisco, I hope. And so now I am in Spain, and I don't want to, like, shit on Spain by talking about San Francisco and California while being in Spain. This is, like, so unpresent to the moment. This would be so fucking unpresent to the moment to fantasize about the West Coast while being on the East Coast of Spain. Even though I have, okay. So I'm just gonna try to, like, make the best of it, of my stay. And yeah, like, a subscriber, he said, yeah, you could tell us about some of your travels and stuff. But if you want to know my travels, it's not just fun and joy. It's also, like, for example, I once missed a flight to San Francisco. I missed it. I missed. Okay, so I had to, and I'm still, like, negative 750 euros because of that. Okay, so you also have to stay strong to be able to enjoy. Okay, on that note, have a good one. Take care and peace out. Bye-bye.